Hi, my name is Marty Stanton. I'm an attorney serving on GCAAR's Forms Committee. I'd like to explain an update for the February release that has to do with the Maryland Brokers Act. Maryland law requires either party to be able to terminate the brokerage relationship, which means the agency relationship alone. It would not terminate the contractual obligations formed by the listing agreement and the buyer agency agreement. Our goal in modifying the forms is to have a clear mechanism in place for the parties to serve notice if they want to terminate the brokerage relationship and release each other from their contractual obligations. The first thing we did is modify the language in the listing agreement into two parts. The first, the brokerage relationship, which under the Maryland Brokerage Act, either party may unilaterally terminate, and the second, the contractual obligations created by the parties which cannot be unilaterally terminated. Next, we modify the Montgomery County jurisdictional addendum to the listing agreement and the buyer agency agreement. The new language clearly allows either party to deliver notice terminating the brokerage agency relationship. This makes them aware of the fact that the contractual obligations created by the parties stay in full force and effect unless the parties enter into the termination agreement. It also reminds the parties that the protection clause of the listing agreement survives both. We also added 3 new forms. First, the notice of termination of brokerage relationship. This allows either party to the agreement to provide notice to the other and informs them of what this notice does and doesn't do. It ends the brokerage agency relationship. It does not end the contractual obligations. Next, we added a termination of listing agreement and termination of buyer agency agreement. These new forms allow the parties to terminate the contractual obligation of the agreements. They set forth an agreed upon amount the respective party is responsible to pay, if applicable. They confirm the brokerage relationship is terminated and what happens as a result. Finally, they keep the terms of the protection period in full force and effect. Finally, we removed the withdrawal from the market form. The termination of the listing agreement replaces it. There are other mechanisms in place to withdraw the property. To wrap things up, if a party wants to terminate the brokerage relationship, they would use the Notice of Termination brokerage form. If the parties wish to terminate their contractual obligations, then they would use the termination of the listing agreement or the buyer agency agreement, whichever is applicable. Please plan to attend one of GCAAR's classes for more details. Thank you, and let's have a prosperous 2018.